Alright, so just a quick update to a video I did not so long ago about the legal troubles of former Marvel people or former Marvel people. And this one is an update on Victoria Alonso. Hopefully soon there'll be an update on Jonathan Majors. Because apparently everybody in the world except Marvel is just dropping him from everything. Marvel so far has not dropped him from anything. So, even though there are rumors swirling about that, he still has a trial date. Well, at least I don't know if it's an arraignment date or what, but his first appearance before the court is May 5th, I believe. So hopefully around there I'll have more updates on him. But this is about Victoria Alonso. So she and Disney, if you'll recall, they suddenly fired her. They claimed that it's because she took on projects that she wasn't authorized to take on, and she was just screaming discrimination because for some people, if you happen to be part of minority group, anything bad that happens to you must be because of that. I'm pretty sure they've known for all these years that she was a lesbian. The fact that they're only firing her now, I don't think that had anything to do with it. But anyway, they did settle, but the details are confidential. But it was a multi-million-dollar financial compensation. And the deal was reached in the past few days. Now, let's see if there's anything else here. So nobody wanted to comment on the settlement. Now, I'm leaning towards her screaming discrimination is wrong. Especially considering all that's been happening in the environment of Disney at the moment. I'm going to say that isn't the case. Because she's just happens to be one of those people. I don't know, I don't think all activists do this, but that she just happens to be one of those people that if something bad happens to her, it has to be because of a label she's given herself rather than, that she actually did something wrong. Now, because they settled, it could be a myriad of things. Number one, the most obvious one is Disney's just, it would be cheaper if we just paid her off rather than going through a lengthy trial. And God knows what dirty laundry would end up getting aired, because we've heard from former Disney children, Disney actors who were children at the time, bad-mouthing Disney. So these are hardly blameless. This is hardly a blameless company. However, so they probably don't want something else to come out. Or they just think it's just financially cheaper to just pay her something, and rather than hope that the compensation would be that she would get at the end of the trial would be lesser than what she was asking for. So they probably are doing this from a financial standpoint and possibly a reputation standpoint. Just get it out of the way. Or maybe there is some blame on their part, and they know that there's some blame on their part, and they're willing to accept it, they just don't want to publicize it. That's a possibility too. Like I said, just because I do not think that she was fired after so many years with Marvel, that she was fired by Disney now. Um, I'm going to say that that's highly unlikely. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. So there could be some truth to it. And there could be some truth to what she said, that they gave her permission and they're just looking for an excuse to not make obvious that they're firing her because she's gay. Both of those there could be a little truth to both of those. I think it's somewhere in the middle where, maybe in her department there was some homophobia, but also she's probably doing stuff she wasn't supposed to be doing, because she is apparently the VFX, and I mentioned this in my previous video, the VFX department has gotten a lot of crap lately. Not just because the VFX isn't as good as it used to be, but also just the fact that the graphic artists have formed a union because they were so fed up with the long hours and making them work till the last minute and beyond the last minute. And a lot of this probably has to do with the fact that she's off doing these other projects instead of working on these projects, and so there's a backlog. So I do not doubt that that is the main reason, because if she's supposed to be overseeing that department, and that department is the reason why they have to push back their projects, and we've been hearing that that is indeed the reason that the VFX department is in disarray, I'm leaning towards that. It's not so much that it's a breach of contract per se, as in she's not allowed to do these outside projects, but they probably had the idea that she finishes Disney's projects before she does the other stuff. It's sort of like a kid in school. Get your homework done, then you can go play outside. It's that similar concept, and I'm pretty sure that that's more likely than because she's gay. I mean, like I said, I'm sure she encountered homophobia in some people at Disney, because homophobia exists everywhere, unfortunately, still. However, I don't think that this is why she was fired. Now, again, I don't think it was breach of contract per se, in that she did have permission to do these other projects, but it was probably under the idea that she would finish her obligations to Disney first, which, based on the crap that VFX has been dealing with, I'm going to say she didn't. She was doing these other projects, putting the VFX on the back burner, and oh look, we have to push back our projects because nothing is done because you're off doing this other stuff. Whether that you were given permission or not, you should finish our stuff first. So I'm thinking that that's probably the real reason why she was fired. That they just had enough. That they want to get these projects out, and she's off doing her passion projects, which is fine that she wants to do her passion projects. But maybe work something out so she can finish what she's obliged to do before she does her side stuff. So that's what I'm thinking happened, and I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that this was settled, only because the lawyer was going on about how Victoria's going to tell her truth and she's going to, let Disney have it and that sort of thing. And I expected that to come out in trial. To either see if I'm wrong and that there was something more going on, or to see her flounder. Now, considering there was a settlement, I'm going to say that she wouldn't have completely floundered, that there was something there. But again, I think it was more of we don't want to go through a lengthy trial and possibly ruining our reputation in the process. Let's just, make this problem go away. I think that's more of it than Victoria has a leg to stand on. Anyway, this went on longer than I expected. So with that, I will see you in the next video.